You wake up in the morning, swing your legs over the side of the bed, and something feels just slightly off. Not pain, not weakness that stops you, just a strange heaviness in your thighs or a small hesitation in your step. You tell yourself it is normal, you are just tired, or maybe you slept wrong. But slowly, day by day, it becomes harder to rise from a chair, to lift groceries, to take stairs without holding the rail. That slow fading is not just aging. It is something called muscle loss, sarcopenia, and it is far more common than most people realize. It does not show up overnight, but it silently chips away at your strength and balance. You do not fall, but you feel more careful. You do not stop walking, but your pace gets shorter. This is not about exercise or effort. Sometimes your muscles are not tired, they are starving. And what they need is not more meat or pills, but a tiny forgotten grain that may quietly rebuild what you thought was gone for good. Most people think muscle loss is something dramatic. They expect it to come with an injury or serious illness or a long stay in bed. But the truth is, muscle loss, sarcopenia, begins quietly with no sudden event to blame. You might still be walking every day, eating what you think is healthy and staying active. But inside your body, something is changing. After the age of 60, your muscles begin to lose their ability to rebuild as quickly as they break down. That process speeds up over time. What makes it more dangerous is how subtle it feels. Your clothes still fit, you still weigh about the same, but your body composition is shifting. Muscle is shrinking while fat or fluid may quietly increase. Your arms feel softer. Your legs don't feel as firm. You might stand slower, move more carefully, or need to pause halfway through a task that once felt easy. Scientists at Tufts University found that muscle loss starts as early as your 50s and speeds up each decade if nothing is done. They discovered that people over 60 lose up to 5% of muscle mass every 10 years, and this loss affects not only strength, but also metabolism, immune function, and independence. What most people don't realize is that sarcopenia does not wait for you to be sick. It happens in healthy adults, quietly, steadily. Even if you eat 3 meals a day, your body may not be getting what it needs to protect muscle tissue. That is because older muscles do not just need more protein. They need specific nutrients in the right form to trigger growth. They need help absorbing amino acids. They need anti-inflammatory compounds to reduce hidden damage. They need minerals to activate muscle contraction. And perhaps most importantly, they need a signal that says it is time to rebuild. That signal does not always come from the foods we are used to. It does not always come from meat, eggs, or powders. In fact, many of those foods become harder to digest with age, or they lose their efficiency as our bodies become resistant to protein signals. That is why so many seniors eat well and still feel weak. It is not your fault. It is biology. And the solution may come from something most people overlook completely. A simple natural source of complete protein, rare amino acids, and anti-inflammatory nutrients, all packed into one tiny grain that has been used for centuries but almost forgotten in modern kitchens. You do not need to change your whole diet. You just need to reintroduce one missing link, the kind that quietly supports your body where it is weakest. Now let's talk about the foods you thought were helping and the one grain that could change everything. If you ask most people over 60 what grains they eat, the answers are usually the same: white rice, instant oatmeal, maybe some toast in the morning or pasta with dinner. These are the grains we grew up with. They are familiar, they fill us up, and they are easy to prepare. But what they are not is muscle food. Not really. Most common grains give us quick energy, but they do not do much for rebuilding what age quietly takes away. In fact, they are mostly made of fast-burning carbohydrates, low in protein, low in minerals, and missing the amino acids needed for muscle repair. That does not mean they are bad. But if you are trying to fight sarcopenia, they might not be enough. This is where the problem begins. As we age, our digestive system becomes slower. Our muscles become more resistant to growth. And yet, many older adults are still eating the same kinds of grains they always did, expecting different results. The body, however, needs something more precise. It needs fuel that supports protein synthesis, reduces inflammation, and delivers minerals straight to the muscle fibers. That kind of grain exists, but most people have never heard of it. It is not trendy. You will not see it advertised on television. You probably will not find it at a fast food drive-thru. And even in many grocery stores, it hides quietly on the bottom shelf, passed over for more familiar names. It is called amaranth. And while it may look simple, this tiny grain holds a secret your muscles have been waiting for. Originally used by ancient civilizations like the Aztecs, amaranth was once considered sacred for its ability to provide lasting strength and energy without the heaviness of meat or the crash of sugar. Today, modern science is starting to understand why. In every small spoonful of cooked amaranth, you will find something rare. A complete plant-based protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot produce on its own. That is something most grains simply do not offer. White rice and wheat, incomplete. Oats, better, but still not complete. Amaranth, however, checks every box. Even better, it contains one amino acid that is especially powerful for seniors battling muscle loss. It is called lysine, and it plays a key role in repairing damaged tissues, forming collagen, and helping calcium move into your muscles and bones where it is most needed. For people over 60, that means more than strength. It means better joint stability, fewer aches after walking, and faster recovery when you stretch or move. Along with lysine, amaranth also delivers magnesium, iron, zinc, and phosphorus. These are minerals that many seniors unknowingly fall short on even when eating balanced meals. Without them, muscles can feel weak, tremble during effort, or struggle to recover after activity. With them, the story changes. Suddenly, your legs feel more stable, your balance improves, and most importantly, your confidence in movement slowly returns. But the beauty of amaranth is not just in what it gives, it is also in what it avoids. Unlike refined grains, it does not spike your blood sugar. Unlike many breads or pastas, it is naturally gluten-free, which makes it gentler on the digestive system. And unlike expensive supplements or powders, it does not come with added chemicals or hidden sugars. It is just a grain, pure, ancient, and quietly effective. You do not need a nutrition degree to use it. You do not need to count macros or measure every gram. You only need to welcome one simple spoonful into your day and let your body do the rest. The first time you try it, it may seem unremarkable, but in the days and weeks that follow, the changes might surprise you. So how exactly do you use amaranth in your everyday meals without stress or guesswork? At first glance, amaranth looks like nothing special. It is small, almost like golden sand. It has no strong scent, no exciting color. If you saw it on a shelf, you might pass by without a second thought. But what you are looking at is one of the most powerful grains for rebuilding strength after 60. This grain does not make loud promises. It does not need to. What it offers is quiet, deep support where your body needs it most. Let's start with the basics. Every 100 grams of cooked amaranth delivers around 9 grams of high-quality, complete protein, more than brown rice, oats, or even wheat. That alone is impressive, especially for a plant-based food. But what makes amaranth truly stand out is the balance and potency of its nutrients. Unlike most grains that lack certain essential amino acids, amaranth includes all 9. And among those, one stands above the rest for people fighting muscle loss. That amino acid is lysine, and your body cannot make it on its own. Lysine helps build collagen, repair damaged tissue, and absorb calcium into muscles and bones. When you get enough lysine, your body is better equipped to strengthen the soft tissues that surround joints, which means less stiffness when you wake up or less soreness after a walk. This is especially important because aging muscles do not just need fuel, they need repair, and lysine is one of the most overlooked repair tools in the nutritional toolbox. But the benefits of amaranth do not stop there. It is rich in magnesium, a mineral that supports hundreds of functions in your body, including muscle contraction, nerve communication, and heart rhythm stability. One cooked cup of amaranth can give you nearly 30% of your daily magnesium needs. That means fewer muscle cramps, better control when standing or climbing stairs, and a steadier heartbeat during mild activity. If you have ever felt your leg tremble while getting up, magnesium might be the missing link. Amaranth also brings iron, which helps deliver oxygen to your muscles, and zinc, which supports healing and immune strength. And because it contains phosphorus, your muscles and bones can store and use energy more effectively, giving you the stamina to complete daily tasks without sudden fatigue. That is the beauty of amaranth. It does not just give one benefit. It builds a system of support brick by brick to help your body repair, balance, and rebuild. Now let's talk about something equally important: inflammation. As we age, our bodies become slower at dealing with inflammation, especially after movement or minor strain. This leads to longer recovery times, lingering aches, and eventually avoidance of activity altogether. When that happens, muscle loss, sarcopenia, speeds up, and the cycle becomes hard to break. Amaranth contains phenolic acids, natural compounds that help reduce oxidative stress in muscles after exertion. That means less soreness, less stiffness, and a smoother path to movement the next day. You do not have to lift weights or run marathons to benefit. Even everyday actions like walking to the mailbox, bending to tie your shoes, or stretching your back become easier when inflammation is under control and nutrients are delivered effectively. Amaranth makes this possible not by acting like a supplement, but by behaving like real food should. It heals gently, consistently, and without putting pressure on your system. Another thing people appreciate is that amaranth is naturally gluten-free, which makes it easier to digest for those with sensitive stomachs or those avoiding gluten for joint health. It also has a lower glycemic index than white rice, so it does not cause sharp spikes or crashes in your blood sugar. That is good news if you are managing insulin resistance prediabetes or simply trying to keep your energy steady throughout the day. Many seniors worry that eating better means spending more or learning new recipes or buying complicated ingredients. But with amaranth, the opposite is true. You do not need to change everything. You just need to add one thing consistently. You can start with just a few spoonfuls a day added to something you already enjoy. Over time, that small habit becomes a powerful signal to your body we are rebuilding. We are not giving in to weakness. We are creating strength from the inside out. That is why I recommend amaranth to my patients. Not because it is trendy, not because it is exotic, but because it works. It is quiet, it is natural, and it speaks to your muscles in a language they understand: amino acids, minerals, anti-inflammatory support, and digestible energy. You do not have to believe in superfoods. You just need to believe in small steps that bring real change. So now you may be wondering, how exactly do I prepare this grain, and what are the easiest ways to include it in my daily routine? The first time you cook amaranth, you might be surprised by how easy it is. There are no complicated steps, no expensive gadgets, no strict rules to follow. All you need is a small pot, some water or broth, and a few minutes of patience. Think of it like cooking oatmeal, only with a richer nutritional payoff. You start by rinsing the grain to remove any bitterness. Then combine 1 part amaranth with about 3 parts, water or broth. Bring it to a boil, lower the heat, and let it simmer for 20 minutes until it reaches a soft, creamy texture, almost like porridge. If you like warm, comforting breakfast, amaranth is a perfect base. You can cook it with unsweetened almond milk, then stir in a dash of cinnamon and a handful of soft fruits like bananas, blueberries, or baked apple slices. Sprinkle in a spoon of flaxseed or chia if you want more fiber. This simple bowl gives you a balanced mix of protein, healthy fat, and muscle-repairing minerals to start your day gently but powerfully. For lunch or dinner, try using cooled cooked amaranth as a base for a grain salad. Toss it with roasted vegetables, chickpeas, olive oil, and a squeeze of lemon. It blends beautifully with spinach, red bell peppers, and shredded chicken if you want extra protein. If you enjoy soups or stews, you can add a spoonful of amaranth at the end to thicken the texture and enhance the nutritional value without making your meal heavy or hard to digest. Some people also use amaranth as a substitute for rice or pasta, especially when trying to reduce their carb load while increasing nutrient density. It is satisfying, but it does not leave you feeling weighed down. And because it contains slow digesting carbohydrates, you are less likely to experience an energy crash later. That makes it a great option if you often feel tired in the afternoon or need something steady to carry you through evening tasks. One of the best things about amaranth is how forgiving it is. You do not need to measure perfectly or follow strict meal plans. You can start by adding just 1 or 2 tablespoons to the meals you already cook. Over time, your taste buds will adjust and you might even begin to crave it. That is how your body tells you that you are giving it something it truly needs. If you are someone who prefers variety, you can alternate amaranth with other ancient grains like quinoa or buckwheat. Each of them has its own unique benefits, but amaranth stands out for muscle repair, especially if you are experiencing early signs of muscle loss, sarcopenia. Think of it not as a chore or a diet rule, but as a gift to your future self, a way to walk more confidently, move more freely, and rebuild strength without strain. Cooking can be healing when it is simple and intentional, and every time you stir that pot of amaranth, you are not just making food. You are making a quiet investment in your independence, your energy, and your ability to keep doing the things you love. Like any change in your diet, introducing amaranth should be done gently, especially if your body is used to more familiar grains like rice or white bread. While amaranth is incredibly nourishing, it is also rich in fiber and nutrients that your system might need a few days to adjust to. That is why I always recommend starting with just 1 or 2 tablespoons a day mixed into a meal you already enjoy. From there, you can increase slowly as your digestion adapts. Another important step is rinsing amaranth thoroughly before cooking. Like quinoa, it contains natural plant compounds called saponins. These can sometimes leave a bitter aftertaste or cause mild stomach irritation if not washed away. Simply place the dry grain in a fine mesh strainer, rinse under cold water for a minute, and then cook as usual. This quick step helps ensure the grain is not only more pleasant to eat, but also easier to digest. If you have a history of bloating, gas, or sensitive digestion, try pairing amaranth with warm cooked vegetables or bone broth. Avoid combining it with raw cabbage, dairy, or overly spicy foods when you first begin, as those can make your stomach work harder. Over time, your gut will grow more comfortable and the grain will feel like second nature. There is also one other group of people who should approach amaranth with extra care. If you have kidney disease or are on a protein-restricted diet, it is important to speak with your doctor or dietitian before adding high-protein grains like amaranth regularly. Even good protein can be too much if your kidneys are under stress. Your medical team can help you determine the right amount and frequency for your specific condition. Lastly, remember that consistency is more important than quantity. You do not need to eat a whole bowl of amaranth every day. Even small amounts when used regularly can signal your body to start repairing. Think of it like watering a plant. Too much too soon can overwhelm it, but the right amount at the right pace helps it grow strong and steady. So now that you know how to use amaranth wisely, safely, and comfortably, the question becomes simple. Are you ready to bring this quiet but powerful grain into your daily life and let it support the strength you still have within? You do not have to feel weak to know that something is shifting inside your body. You might not fall, you might not limp, but you feel it, the way your steps have changed, the way you move a little slower, stand a little more carefully, or rest just a little more than before. That quiet shift is not just aging. It is muscle loss, sarcopenia, and while it comes on gradually, it does not have to stay. What you have discovered today is not just a food, it is a signal to your muscles telling them that they are not being ignored, that your strength still matters, that your balance, your posture, your ability to walk without fear, these are still within reach. Amaranth may be small, but its impact is deep. With complete protein, rare amino acids, minerals that soothe and restore, and compounds that calm inflammation, it gives your body the quiet tools to start rebuilding what time has slowly taken. No gimmicks, no overnight promises, just a simple habit with lasting power, and now the choice is yours. Will you give your muscles that signal today? If this message spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe for more weekly tips that are real practical and science-backed. This channel is here to help you stay strong, independent, and vibrant at every age. And if you have a moment, leave a comment below. Tell me which part of your body needs the most support right now. I read every word and I am cheering for you with each step forward. Your strength is not gone. It is waiting to come back one quiet spoonful at a time.